Welcome back to another episode of The Average Kitchen. Mark here with a C. Thank you for joining us on this journey of us giving you these honest, unbiased reviews. Today we're reviewing the Instapot Dual Plus 8-quart multi-use pressure cooker with Whisper Quiet Steam Release. Why they have these lengthy names, I don't know. First time ever using an Instapot. This is the inaugural voyage of this bad boy. We're gonna start with something really simple and do some cilantro lime rice. 3 cups of rice. I'm gonna add in 3 cups of water. Now we're gonna throw our lid on. And we're gonna go to our rice setting. High for 8 minutes. And we're gonna hit start and see what happens here. So preheating, we should set a timer. So when it says preheating, I'm assuming it means building up pressure. So I think that often with a lot of appliances we review, they always talk about, 8-minute cook or 9-minute cook, but they never take into consideration the buildup of how long it takes to build that pressure, build that steam, or preheat that grill or preheat the air fryer. So we try to throw on a timer just to give you an idea as the consumer, give you an idea of how long does this take to actually get to pressure. You'll see here, there's 2 settings on the pressure relief. The pressure relief valve is in here, and you can see, and I don't know if Jamie will be able to get it, but when I move this, that valve goes up and down. Can you get that, Jamie? Up and down. So this is considered a fast release. This is considered a slow release. So according to the website, and I'm just looking online here, it says to select pressure, cook high 8 minutes, make sure the steam release knob is in the sealed position, which would be here. And then it says after the cook, do a quick release of the pressure, so then we would slide that down. So we're gonna try that together and see how it works. It also talks about, again, this Whisper Quiet Steam Release. We'll see. Jamie's gonna throw on his decibel reader that he's got on his phone, and we'll see how whisper quiet it is. Maybe we'll be surprised. So we're gonna allow this to continue to build pressure and see how long it takes, and we'll be right back. So the books itself that this product came with, no recipes at all, 0. So bit of a bummer. The website is pretty good, but not without flaw. You can search by the meal you want to do, like let's say you want to do an appetizer or a lunch or breakfast or supper or dinner, whatever you want to do, you can sort by that. You cannot, however, sort by what product you're using. Instapot, for example, has an indoor grill, has multiple Instapot all-in-one cookers. It would be nice if there was a drop down to say, okay, this is the product I have, what can I do with this product? What I do really like is when you finally find something you like, a recipe that you like, it gives you the option to print it or to either text it to yourself or email it to yourself, and actually shows up in a really nice recipe form. First thing we noticed as we're waiting for this pressure to build up was that there was a little bit of steam leaking here, and you could see some residual condensation here. I thought that was a little unusual. It seems to have slowed down, and it's showing here, do not open the lid, which would tell me obviously that there is some pressure built up. You can see the status bar, boom, now it's cooking. So that was actually great timing. So let's check the old trusty phone here. That took 9 minutes and 7 seconds, give or take a couple seconds to build that up. There's a little bit of a red pressure icon there that you could see. The pressure is stopped coming out here on the side. Obviously it says do not open lid. I suspect, much like the Ninja Smart Lid that we reviewed, check that out somewhere, awesome product. It is impossible to open the lid when it's under pressure. I'm not gonna try this, but I suspect it's the same. All right, so our cook time just finished. Now I suspect that if we left this on the manual release, or at least what I read, it could take like 10 or 15 minutes to manually release the steam. We're gonna switch this up to quick release and see what the sound is like. So what I could tell you is a couple things. Considerably quieter than the Ninja, way quieter. Jamie made up a good point that the button over here is quite a bit away from the valve. Now, if you're a big fan of The Average Kitchen, one of the first reviews we ever did was on the Ninja dual lid pressure cooker, air fryer, cooker, whatever, and you had to manually move that relief with your hand. Made for a really funny moment, scared the out of me. The new single lid, smart lid, has an automatic pressure relief, but is considerably louder than what that was. That was actually, it does say whisper quiet here. Jamie's phone, I think, said was comparable to a very quiet office. So pretty impressed so far with that. So now it just switched to say okay to open the lid. So okay, so I would consider that kind of like a sticky rice. Let's give it a little try here. So rice is good. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna juice 2 limes. I'm sure everybody knows that trick, roll it out, get the juices flowing as they say. And we're just gonna squeeze in that lime juice as best we can manually here. And then I've got roughly 1/4 to 1/2 cup of fresh cilantro that we're gonna throw in as well. And then we'll use our large spatula and give that a mix. So I'm gonna add 1 more lime. I have it, and might as well use it. I think I need one of those lime squeezer. My buddy Dan has one. I've seen him use in videos that works quite well. All right, so scooped out all of our rice, as you can see here. Not bad. I don't know, I'm sure we could scrape some of this, but there is gonna be some soaking required, as you can see here. But anything starchy like rice, I expect that that's gonna happen. Some hot water and give it a soak, and we'll move on to our next test. All right, as you can see, we got a full island worth of stuff here. We're gonna do what they call these 20-minute chicken burrito bowls. So, gonna start out with 1.5 cups of rice. We're gonna put in 2.5 cups of chicken broth. We're gonna put in a full cup of salsa of your choice, whatever you like. A full can of corn, or frozen corn if that's what you prefer. A full can of rinsed black beans. We're gonna put in a full packet of taco seasoning mix. We'll give that a stir first. I'm very curious to see how this is gonna work. We did something similar to this on the Ninja SPEEDI all-in-one cooker, which has become Jamie's go-to favorite thing we've ever bought on The Average Kitchen. If you haven't watched that video and you're considering what to buy for maybe an all-in-one cooker, you may want to have a look at that as well as this. There you go. Then I marinated some massive chicken breasts in like a Cajun marinade. So we're gonna drop those in, and then we're gonna put those in that one as well. And we got 1 more to throw in. All right, so I'm gonna let that sit for a second, and I'm gonna clean up my workspace because it drives me crazy if I get too much stuff everywhere, and then let's turn this on. All right, so you can see we got our lid on. Everything is in there. So we're gonna go, now it said here in the instructions that we were following, make sure the vent's closed, which it is. And then it says use the manual function. At the bottom it says the manual function and the pressure cook button are interchangeable. So I'm glad they put that in there because we didn't have a manual function, but we got pressure cook. And then it says to go to manual function or pressure cook 12 minutes. So I'm gonna say custom 12 minutes. And again, same as before, the preheating setting should take roughly 9 minutes, and then a 12-minute cook, and then the release. And what it says is once your lid is off, pull your chicken out, shred it, and add it back to the mixture. So that's the plan. Hopefully the chicken's gonna be cooked. We're gonna check that as well. All right, so Jamie and I were chilling out waiting for this to build up pressure, and we were like, geez, it's taking a long time, probably 20 minutes. And then it started beeping, and now it's saying food burn. You can see it's still in the preheating setting. So it doesn't smell burn. I can smell salsa, but we're gonna release the pressure and have a look here because of this food burn. I scooped everything out, as you can see here, and I was very careful not to scrape the bottom. I could definitely see, if I do scrape, there is some burnage there, I could see. So how it sensed that, I don't know. All right. Everything's scooped out. You can see I chunk up the chicken real quick. It's actually a massive dish. Let's just give this a try. It's actually tastes and the cook on the chicken is absolutely perfect. The mystery is this whole burn factor. Now, Jamie did a quick Google search and it says that if you use a thick sauce, it could or minimal liquid, it could cause that error to pop up or that issue to pop up. According to this recipe that I followed from the Instant Pot website, it called for 2.25 cups of chicken broth. I actually put a little bit more. I did 2.5 cups. Full cup of salsa, corn and beans, which, as you guys know, retains moisture. So there should be plenty of moisture there. The problem was it was in the preheat stage the whole time and the timer never even counted down. But it probably took, Jamie, what, 20 minutes at least? So I think we saved this. I've got these like illusions of grandeur of getting that pot now clean so we can do the next test.
It's gonna be a nightmare.
But we're gonna power through. So we're gonna do a ham bone soup. Yesterday on my Traeger, I smoked 2 significantly big ham shanks. Now Jamie, get in there, or maybe you can, get in there and smell that. You can smell the smoke off it. It smells amazing. The reason I kept them both is because I'm probably gonna freeze one of these bones for a future soup. So we're gonna put that in there, like that. This is the yield from those 2 ham shanks. So they were on sale, roughly $15 each Canadian. So I don't know how many pounds of actual, like that's all cleaned up, how many pounds of ham that is. But to me, that is a pretty good deal. So what do we have here? We've got 4 cups of chicken broth that we're gonna dump in. We've got 2 cups of water, which I think I'm gonna dump into this to save that residual bouillon there to use it. Cloves of garlic, I'm gonna throw those in. Half of a good sized onion, and we've got some celery and carrots. 2 large carrots and 3 stalks of celery. A teaspoon of cumin, half a tablespoon of dried oregano, and 2 good sized bay leaves. Now it calls for salt and pepper, but I could tell you with experience, these ham shanks,
very salty.
So not gonna add any salt whatsoever, but we're gonna add a pretty good amount of pepper. And then it suggests adding roughly a cup of the actual ham itself. So I cleaned all this last night after I let it rest for a while. So I'm just gonna sort of quarter a bunch of these pieces and get that into our pot, and then we're gonna get that going. I'm gonna give my hands a wash, we're gonna get that lid on, and I believe the cook on it, they said was 50 minutes, 50. Hopefully it doesn't burn. Okay, so we're back. Almost 21 minutes to build the pressure on this for that soup. So that's a bit of a factor. This is not a quick meal. 21 minutes, and then we did a 50-minute, according to the recipe, 50-minute cook on it, and then it said to leave the steam valve closed for 20 minutes. We're into 22 here, so we're gonna flip this over, and we're gonna release that steam now. So while we're waiting, you're probably wondering, and I know you're asking, where did Mark get this amazing Average Kitchen merch? Well, I can tell you, we just launched our merch store. The link is in the description below the video, so check it out. And if you're wondering, how do I buy this Instapot or anything that we review, we always put the links to the product in the description, so it's easy. You can just click on it, takes you right to that product, whether it's camera gear we use or the knife that we use or anything that we use in the Average Kitchen, we always put the links in the description so you can check it out there. So we're getting pretty close here. Still says do not open the lid. I definitely smell ham, and I'm a little bit nervous, full disclosure, a little bit nervous to see how this looks after the last time where the liquid was eliminated. We ended up with what, 6 cups of liquid in this soup, right, Jamie? Yeah. 6 cups. Whoa, whoa, that looks pretty awesome. The smell is out of this world. So our actual ham shank broke, so there will be a little bit of cleanup that's needed here on this. Okay, so I just cleaned out everything here, as you can see. So you can see this beautiful soup here, dark, rich broth. Let's give it a try. So have a look at that broth there. Very, very nice. But a really, really rich flavor, which is really, really nice. So the next thing we're gonna try is actually a Thai coconut shrimp soup called Tom Kai. So let's get started here. I'm gonna follow this exactly how they suggested. And they suggest 3 cups chicken broth, half the can of the coconut milk, and then it said shrimp. So you see here we have some frozen raw shrimp, deveined and de-shelled. So we're gonna put those in, sliced off some big chunks of fresh ginger here, fresh mushrooms, And then it talks about a tablespoon of fish sauce and our lemongrass. Now, lemongrass, Jamie wasn't really familiar with this, and I wanted to sort of show him a little bit of an experiment. If you smell lemongrass, very, very subtle. However, if you take the backside of your knife and you start to open up those fibers, we'll flip that over and we'll do it again. Smell that, Jamie. Significant difference. So it talks about putting in, like, I don't know, a couple tablespoons of lemongrass. I'm just gonna trim the ends off here. Again, very fibrous. And I think I'm gonna cut this into 4 stalks, and I'm gonna put it in whole like this, because I'll tell you why. I've made Tom Yum soup before and cut them into small slivers. Even when they're cooked, they're not desirable to eat. They're there for taste only. Then you're trying to fish out a bunch of little pieces. This way here, if we put in 4 chunks, easy to get out of the soup. So we need to do a tablespoon of fish sauce. There we go, 3 Thai chilies. We'll get those in there. And then it calls for a tablespoon, I believe, of honey, a teaspoon. So if you have any experience with Thai food, you probably know that Thai food has this amazing complex flavor of sweet and spicy and lemony or lime, like citrus flavor. Just the balance with Thai food is just so amazing, which makes it such a desirable food culture, is that amazing flavor profile that they develop. And then they call for a little bit of salt. So we'll put that in. So what, according to the instructions, is once we finish our cook, we zest a couple limes and then we squeeze in lime juice and we add in the remaining of our coconut milk and stir it up, and a little bit more fish sauce, and then we're ready to go. So we're gonna go pressure cook. We're gonna go with the soup, and we're gonna go with 11 minutes and low pressure. Hit the quick release, start relieving that pressure. Took 14 minutes to get it up to pressure. It dumps the pressure very, very quickly on this, which is kind of nice. All right, so Jamie made a comment while we're waiting for the pressure to relieve. He said, well, it's still technically heating and cooking. So we hit cancel. So it shut it off, but it still shows the pressure icon and it says do not open the lid. So pretty good safety feature, even with it turned off. It's still telling you just to hold on before opening that lid. The one thing we have not talked about is that it came with this very small lifter. I suspect that would be if you wanted to do like a whole chicken. There we go. Whole chicken or whatever, you can put that in the bottom and let it sit. What it doesn't have, hold on, let me pop this off. Okay, to me it looks good. Shrimp look cooked. The color is consistent with how it should be. I'm gonna put in the remaining of our milk, and I'm gonna come back to that point about what this doesn't have. I mean, to me, it smells amazing. Jamie, I don't know if you're picking up on that. Yep. Let's zest, we got a little zester here. Let's zest some limes. This is a great little tool to have at home if you don't have one. Just zesting a lime or a lemon in a lot of dishes, whether it's a Caesar salad for a lemon, or, you know, in this case here, adds so much flavor, packed with flavor, that lime zest. Really, really, really nice. So now we're just going to cut our limes in half. Again, we rolled them out to maximize our juice, and we're going to add some lime juice. It smells unbelievable. I'm going to give my hands a wash, and we're going to try it. Jamie just reminded me that I owed a tablespoon of fish sauce. We'll put that in. And moment of truth. It's unbelievable. Like unreal. A little on the spicy side. It is so effing good. All right, so last test, mac and cheese. So we've got 2 cups of chicken broth. We're gonna get that in there. So we're gonna put all of that in there,
and then we're gonna stir that all up.
So let's get this cleaned, reset, and do it properly. I do want to say we're the average kitchen, and in my view, as an average home chef or a home cook, whatever you want to call yourself, mistakes happen, and hey, shit happens. So we want to start fresh. Let's go. chicken broth. Let's get that in. We're gonna follow the instructions to a T here. Our 2 cups pasta, boom, pepper, little salt, butter. Let's give that a mix. 5 minutes, pressure cook. 5 minutes, custom, low. See what happens. Let's start the old timer to see how long it takes. Okay, so only took 9 minutes to build up the pressure on this one. So that was the quickest one thus far. I have no idea how internally it knows when it's ready to go, don't know. But let's relieve our pressure, or release our pressure. We're gonna see how our pasta looks. Okay, moment of truth. First glance, first thought, just okay. We'll get our cheese in and our milk. So that's one thing I've noticed very quickly on this. This pot spins very, very easily. Even, I'm not even scraping, I'm just stirring and it's spinning like crazy. So I'm gonna say we've made mac and cheese several times on this channel, whether it was on the Traeger or different places, whatever. This is by far the worst looking one, at least aesthetically, that I've ever noticed. Now, I'm lactose, so I'm not gonna try this, but Jamie is. But we may just give it a second to just sit. All right, so it is starting to thicken up a little bit as it sort of sits in this hot vessel. So Jamie's actually gonna grab a spoon right here. So it's certainly creamy, ripping hot, ripping. But he's burnt himself already today, so hey. And?
Tastes very good.
Really?
But soupy.
Okay. Okay, so final thoughts on this product. $149 US. We're in Canada here, so that's probably like, if you know anything about our Canadian dollar, probably like $200 Canadian. Was I blown away with it? No. Does it do what it says it can do? Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's got these other features here, slow cook. Presumably it's gonna slow cook. The rice setting is kind of nice. Who would ever make yogurt at home? Not me. Saute, yeah, I would think that you could easily saute in the bottom of a stainless steel bowl for sure. Steam, not sure. Cake, like who's baking cakes in this? I don't know. Sous vide, maybe. Sous vide's a big thing. I don't know. The one thing I will say instantly that I don't like is that this pot does not come out. And you can see here, we've got some residual pepper and moisture. So now I gotta use my sausage fingers to try to work paper towel in here to try to clean this. So I think that that's a bit of a design flaw personally, because how else are you gonna get in there? So that's a bit of a pain for me. Does it say what it could do? Yes, it's a pressure cooker. Did it pressure cook? I mean, the rice on the burrito bowl, although everything tasted amazing, we didn't scrape up that burnt rice because it would have been very bitter. Not sure why that happened, no idea. The pasta, when we did it properly, turned out good. The ham bone soup, amazing. I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I mentioned this to Jamie earlier when we were eating that Thai soup. We've done, I don't know, 135, 140 episodes on our YouTube channel. Started out primarily as a cooking show, morphed into doing reviews, but in our reviews we cook a lot. It is the best thing, taste-wise, the best thing I have ever cooked on this YouTube channel. That Thai soup was out of this world, unbelievable. I would buy this product just to make that soup. That's how good it was. So I encourage you, if you have one of these and you love Southeast Asian flavor profiles, please try this soup. You're gonna be blown away. The footprint of it, it's big enough, but it's not humongous. It's really not that heavy, but it is what it is. It's a pressure cooker. Now the big thing I noticed, so I have the smart lid, Ninja Smart Lid. We did a review on that. Jamie will put the link somewhere in around the screen here. Also a pressure cooker. What I love about it is it has a dual rack. So Christmas, Thanksgiving, whatever, you want to pressure cook turnip and carrots and cabbage for your turkey dinner. You can layer those on the racks, and that's what we use it for all the time. This one here, this little flimsy rack here, which I don't know, I'm not really a big fan of, that's just gonna sit in the bottom of your pot. Maybe you put, I don't know, 3 or 4 carrots on that, but like it doesn't have a steaming tray. Now, it's possible, very possible, because Instant Pot's been around for a while. Maybe there's accessories you could buy, and there probably are, that we're not aware of, because this is all new to us, but it's nice to have that rack to pressure cook. Also kind of a bit of a bonus, came with an extra seal for your pressure lid. Jamie read in the book that it said that it's a good idea to keep one for savory and one for sweet. So if you are baking in this and or, might be not a bad idea to switch them out. And they estimated that you should switch that out every 18 months. I would argue it depends on how often you use it. But overall, does it do what it says it could do? For sure. Would it be great for stews and soups and this and that? Absolutely, especially in the Canadian winter where we love our stews and soups. Yes, for sure. That's our video. Hope you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave us a comment. We always reply back. See you on the next one.